Come in a bit closer. Just because the audio might not get picked up. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Justin.
Lauren, nice to meet you.
I'm also Lauren.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Justin.
Two Laurens.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to come right out with it.
Okay.
Flat Earth.
Oh God.
Come in closer. Sit here.
No. No flat Earth.
No flat Earth.
Not real.
Not
Lies.
real. You think it's a globe?
Yeah, because I saw a little TikTok the other day of this guy with a selfie stick, and he went on top of like the highest point,
I
it
did
was-
see
it
that,
was
and it was a
round.
sphere.
Round, yeah.
and you see it from space, it's round. I mean, they might be lying, but now you've got me in a
I can't say I have the facilities to go up to space to properly check it out, but I'm gonna go with it's not flat.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's
Based
not
on
flat.
the evidence provided.
Do you think it's flat?
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so is
okay,
this what
what's-
the main reason for your channel is? To prove?
Pretty much,
Okay.
yeah.
Why what's your reasons to believe it's flat, just out of interest?
So basically, when I first heard about it, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, you know, you're crazy. Do you know what I mean? How can the Earth be flat? We know it's a globe. You know what I mean? It's just. But then I went away to try and find the proof that it's a globe, so I could come back to my friend and go, ha, told you.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
And then-
deconvinced yourself?
And then
To
a
be
week
fair-
later, I was like, oh, shit, there's something going on here. And then about a year and a half later, that was about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after going into the rabbit hole,
I have
and
been there, I'm not gonna lie, I've also been there. And I remember
Yeah.
I one time like got in a little hole on YouTube and I started watching all these videos and I was like, fuck, the Earth is flat. But then I thought about it after, I was like,
I can't
it's like,
actually say that I've looked into it enough.
yeah.
Stop, because I'm going to go home tonight and be like, the Earth is fucking flat. I don't know, like,
It's too big
I feel like I
for
don't
us
know
to like
enough.
look at. Obviously, if we look at it like this, it's flat, but then also the Earth is fucking huge.
so why do you think it's flat?
That's what I just asked the boy.
Well,
yeah, like what's your evidence though? Like, if you went into like your rabbit hole, what did you find?
the thing
Convince me.
that, well, basically what I realised is that basically the globe doesn't actually exist in the real world. You know, when we have a look at Earth from our common senses, we don't experience a globe that's spinning.
But we're in a really small part of the world right now.
Yeah. But the whole point of the globe is that, like, why do we think, okay, I'm living on a globe? Because if you were just like this, you wouldn't think you're on a globe. So where does it
Yeah.
come from? And it
Okay.
comes from your education when you're in primary one and you
Yeah.
get shown the globe. And it also,
Satellite.
exactly, and it comes from the screens when you see the pictures of the thing. So I was like, right, how can I actually try and prove this? And when you go to physics and you go out into the real world and try and measure curvature or, you know, go to practicality, there isn't any curvature.
Okay.
Basically, there's one experiment that I did was basically I done an observation. Now, this isn't conclusive because it's just visible, which means it's not conclusive because you actually need to be able to quantify it and measure it practically, because visible phenomena is inconclusive. But basically, because the Earth is curving, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
That means if you're looking at something far away in the distance, eventually, because it goes around the curve, it will disappear. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
because
Yeah, but that's like the horizon, though.
the horizon,
Yeah, so it is. It's going round a curve.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
you can't just see forever.
Exactly. Well, that's what they want you to believe because that's
Who's they?
well, they is the people behind the lie. I don't know exactly who it is.
Why would
government,
so many
Donald.
people lie about it though?
Well, hang on, let
Trump
me
does make up lies, but that's
Okay.
more about like paedophilia.
I'm gonna let you
and
have
stuff.
your.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Oh God,
I mean,
this
there's
is too many
facts.
conspiracy theories.
There's
Yeah,
facts.
Totally. So basically, I was looking at this thing which was 30 miles away, and based off of the equation, basically, it's every mile that you look out, you lose 8 inches off the bottom because it's curving. So if you look at something a mile away, you lose 8 inches. 2 miles it's 32, 3 miles 74, whatever.
Right.
So when you're looking at something that's 30 miles away, based on the maths, because it's a parabola, based on the maths that we're given, there should be about 700 feet missing from the bottom of the object that you're looking at because
Okay.
it's went around the curve. But when I observed what I was looking at, which was the Ailsa Rock on the west coast of Scotland, so you can go and do it yourself if you fancy it, like, the Ailsa Rock is 1,100 feet high. So because it's 30 miles away from where I was looking, or Dawson Harbour, I should only have been able to see the top half of it,
Yeah.
because the bottom half should have been around the curve. could see the whole thing from top to bottom.
Okay.
Not only could I see the whole thing from top to bottom, I could see back onto the west coast of Scotland to the land, which was probably about 60 miles away, and you could see the whole thing from top to bottom there. And there's been people who
Where
have
were you
done.
standing?
I was going to say, were you at like an advantage?
Were you high up? Were you viewing point?
I was 3 feet.
Oh, we got a special gift!
Wants the food. Don't let her get the food.
Oh, you might be sick, boy. Oh,
Yeah, guard the food. Guard the food.
Honey,
Nice check.
darling.
Hi, Adele.
You're so cute, but no.
Hi.
No.
That's mine. Oh, that was sweet. Anyway.
Anyway, ciao.
He's trying to play like the cute dog,
Yeah.
but he really just wants the food.
He wants to get in on the convo. It's like, flat Earth, nah.
It's like, nah, I've got a point to make.
That's what I'm saying though. I mean, like, I don't know how much. That's probably not even a mile. I don't know maths. I failed. But like, if you're looking at something, you'll probably still see the bottom of it. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You saw that big rock.
Yeah.
You're still going to see the bottom of it, but you're not going
Yeah,
to
but I
really
shouldn't be
see
able
as
to.
much of the other side.
I shouldn't be able to.
So why would
How?
people lie?
What if it's
Because-
like on the ground? That's like me saying, can't see the bottom of that.
No, because it's,
I'm going to
because
get
it's-
that actually because I don't like
because it's curving, right? So you've got the curve of the Earth. So because it's curving away from you, if it's 30 miles away, there should be 700 feet chopped off the bottom because it's went down that you can't see it. Do you get what I'm saying?
But, right, we do curve, but wouldn't it only be like a slight curve? Because it's such, like, Earth's so big.
At 30 miles, you can look this up. Because we know the size of the supposed size of the globe, because you can calculate the rate of curvature.
Okay.
Because you've got the size of it, so you can figure out how big the curve is. And the equation is, what is the equation? Distance. It's like
Times
8
speed or
inches per mile squared.
Oh. I'm saying completely something different.
Because it's a parabola, so it's 8 inches per mile squared. So basically, 1 mile, you lose 8 inches. 2 miles, 32. Then 74, and it's exponential.
Isn't 30 miles really far away though? How do you see 30 miles away?
Never tried it, check.
I don't think I've ever tried
Even
to
Oculus
comment.
set, probably. Honestly, that's the thing. I would assume though, 30 miles away, like regardless, you're not really gonna know what's going on.
Okay, but either way, why would people lie? Like, surely you have a theory on that.
Well, I think it's basically. Do you agree that basically we get brainwashed?
Oh, like in regards to this or just regards to
Society,
general? Oh, yeah.
Definitely some
education.
stuff, yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
But what? There would be no reason to lie
Yeah,
about.
like, what's
Okay,
the
hang on.
reason behind-
Do you
Okay.
also agree? Do you also agree that there's a control system in place and basically that everything's being controlled?
Like they decide what we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you were to put a human being in a fence or in a cage, what would the human being want to do?
Get out,
Sick.
probably.
Okay. If you can convince a human being that they're on a big globe spinning about in a vacuum of space and everywhere's been
Oh,
discovered,
stop this. We're in fucking, what's it called? Springfield. What's that one from
it's
Simpsons?
basically-
Okay, fine, I might believe you now.
it's basically a psychological control mechanism to keep us controlled
Truman Show.
so that we accept our slave life. When
What's the benefits to like us having a flat Earth compared to
Maybe we're under
curvature?
observation.
well, basically, I'm at the stage now where I'm like, I know it's flat. Like, I'm not like,
Convinced.
I know it's flat.
Okay.
I'm so far down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
There's nothing that anyone can say to me that I'm going to then be like, oh, yeah, it's like I've heard it all. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Circumnavigation, Antarctica, space, this, that, NASA. I've heard it all. It's all
Yeah.
bullshit. But
You obviously know more than us because you've looked into it more.
Yeah,
Like
you've
I
just
don't.
taken us by surprise. I'm just like, yeah, come on.
But I'd
Jay.
just like to know like why would they lie about it? Like what's the benefits for like them?
I think there's.
they're watching
I don't know exactly. I don't know why. You need to ask the people who are actually
Are
doing
they
the
hiding
lie.
something? Is that what you think?
It's they could be hiding something. For example, there could be more land. There could be resources. I don't know. But also, it's also like I say, part of the mind control. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? They want us to remain here and accept.
But what
and
are we
be,
doing? We're not doing anything for them. I do nothing. I literally just
Like if I was
vibe.
sat here, whether the
do
Earth
nothing.
was like a globe or like flat, it doesn't make any odds to me sitting here.
Yeah.
Like what's the benefits of them lying about it being a globe? compared to
well,
being straight?
for me, I've got a lot of questions about life and what is life all about.
Yeah.
And before I can have some sort of philosophy or rationalise what I'm supposed to be doing in life and what I'm supposed to be doing, if I've been lied to and I'm not on a globe and other human beings have hypnotised me and lied to me and said, here kiddie, come to see me at 5 years old. You're on a big spinning wobbling globe.
Yeah.
And I realised, hang on a second, that's not actually true. For me, it's now my absolute number one priority in life to try and figure out what else is out there. Are we in some sort of contained system? Is there more land? Is it an infinite plane? Is there a fucking ice wall? Is there other civilizations? Is there other species? I
Do
don't
you
know.
think of it in the same way Lauren said about, like, have you ever seen the Truman Show? Like
Yeah.
that movie? Like, is that the way you're thinking of it? Like, we're being restricted to like a certain part of the world, and we're not getting.
I don't
like,
know.
The whole...
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why they're lying. I don't
Right,
know what they're
okay.
hiding. All I know is they're
When you're
lying.
on a plane, I swear it's round. I've been on a plane.
I've been on a plane at 35,000 feet, and it was when I was looking into this, and I was like, "Is there any curve? Is there any curve?" And it's no. And
Is there not?
no curve. We've sent. There's people that have
But
sent
you're
up
above the
balloons
clouds.
to.
How would you know the clouds are there?
No, because it was cloud free, and I could see everything. It
There
was
was no
completely
clouds
level.
that day, Lauren.
This is another
a valid point.
fact that pushes towards that it's flat. When you go up in elevation, if we were on a ball, the horizon line would start. You'd have to look down on it because you rise, right? But when you rise up in elevation, the horizon line always rises to eye level, which is only possible on a flat plane.
But also, we could be seeing more of what's past the horizon because we're higher up. So it could seem like
And I
there's
guess
more
as well, we've
down
got
there
nothing to
just
compare
because we're
it
seeing
to.
it from a high up angle. You're still seeing more
Yeah,
regardless.
but if you're on a ball, that means that it's sloping down. So as you,
But only if it's like a big ball.
yeah,
you
but
wouldn't
listen.
see a full
If
That's
you
really huge. I don't think
if
you're
you rise,
realizing how
listen,
big the
listen,
world is. Like,
listen.
freaking massive.
I know, but listen, when you rise in elevation, it is a scientific impossibility for the horizon line to continue to rise to your eye level if you were on a globe. It needs to start curving away from you.
What
It
if
cannot
it's a
rise with you.
massive curve? Like what if
I mean, it is,
stretches-
because the
well,
world's
it
so
is like if it
huge.
stretches
Sorry,
for
I
so
said
long,
F.
and it
Yeah,
only
I
like
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
slightly like
I see what you're saying.
curves.
Do you know how fast we're supposedly spinning right now?
Oh, isn't it something bloody ridiculous? Like, yeah, I'm not going to kid on I know because I don't.
We're supposedly spinning right now at 1,000 miles an hour, right?
But the world's that big that we wouldn't feel it.
Honestly,
That's
if I
my point
close
to
my
you.
eyes,
Is the
I'd
world's that
probably
big we wouldn't
spin it at
notice it,
1,000.
and we wouldn't see any curve.
That's very, what's the word? Do you know what I mean?
Clever, smart, bright. Thank you.
I was going to say, like, coincidental. Do you know what I mean? Oh, do you know what I mean? Like,
No.
oh, we wouldn't feel it. Like, we're only spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, but because it's so big, we don't feel it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like think of even
Think about
sometimes
how
when you're
much
in a
has to
car, you're
move.
driving at 60 miles an hour, 70. Sometimes you don't feel it. We're on a
I have to admit,
we're
I do
on
that.
a world
I drive
millions of
fast,
pounds
don't realise.
pounds bigger than a car, and that's not that much faster than a car. That's only like 10 times a car. We're not going to feel it. Think about the size of a car.
Earth is 10 times a car.
No, I'm saying millions. I don't know. I'm not doing the math.
Sorry,
Think of
so
a car. How
dead.
could fit in between these trees? Think about how many cars could fit around the Earth.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel it.
I don't know, because you're not only are you spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, but you're also, so we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, but we're also orbiting the sun at something like 60,000 miles an hour or something like that, whilst all of that is moving through the vacuum of space at like 1 billion miles an hour, right?
Yeah, I'm
Honestly,
doing
that
something.
makes me
I'm
But-
busy. I need to take a day off.
But when you look up at the stars, yeah, it's always the same constellations. Do you know what I mean? Always the same stars there, and we're
I can't
supposed to be
say I've
spinning
noticed.
and wobbling
Yeah, I
all through
don't-
the thing.
Clouds move though.
Next time you see the stars,
Especially when I'm on that plane.
take a wee
I'm gonna
second.
look up and think of you.
Just look
and
up.
be like,
God, stop that!
When I realised that it's flat, my life changed. Literally,
So
life
what's your
changed.
intentions behind this? Like
Well,
going around and speaking to people? Like, are you trying to spread the message? Are you trying
Yeah.
to see what other people think? Like,
I'm
what's
trying
your...
to spread the message
Okay.
because there's an underlying issue here. It's not really about what the shape is. Yeah, the shape's important, but it's also tying in with what you mentioned earlier. You know, all the corruption, all the
Yeah.
lies, all the control,
I just
and
think
what.
that the people in charge are just paedophiles. I don't think they're really trying to make us think we're in a bubble.
I think
Yeah,
they're just
well-
shagging
They
waves. They're
could,
not
but
lying over there.
Yeah, literally. I just think they're. I don't know. I
Yeah, I've
think
heard
they've
a lot
got
of that too,
worse things on their mind
Yeah.
than tricking little old me who works at a bar to think that she's on a flat Earth.
Yeah. At the end of the day, my message isn't everyone. You've got to believe the Earth is flat. The message that I'm trying to deliver is a message of
Yeah.
peace, love, unity,
I think
humanity,
it's good though to like
compassion.
start that conversation because it's not really something that ever like crosses my mind, and like either way, whether it's true or not, doesn't really matter. What matters is like engaging engaging and like talking about it and like
Yeah,
finding
exactly.
the
Yeah.
truth. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Because now I'm gonna go and like take away from the situation. Like I'm gonna look into it and
Yeah.
like think about it. Like either way, whatever my conclusion is, you're still starting some conversation. So it's like beneficial, but I just don't really know what my. I think the world's.
Yeah, I
don't
for now
think
I
anyone
think the
knows.
world is still round, but we're going to look into
But I
it.
respect your
good.
opinion,
Yeah.
and I think what you're doing is like.
I mean, you obviously believe this a lot, so I'm like, you must have a
Yeah,
reason
and also
to believe
you
it so
probably know
strongly.
more than us because if you've been looking at this for like a year, like you will have more evidence than we will. We just know what we've been told.
We've just been in the park.
We've just been
Like,
sat
sitting
here
here
having a wee wine,
and watched
so
by that
we
wee
don't know
seagull.
any better.
Yeah, no, that's,
So, no.
that's more fun. That's more fun. Like, I might bring some wine with me next time. Like,
Honestly, check. Is that shout?
yeah.
Quite